Welcome everyone to a new episode of the Early Prelim podcast. I have a very special guest, represented in the form of a picture of Steven Seagal. I was very disappointed actually to find out that this guy does not look by Steven Seagal, by the way, because that has been the picture in my mind when I think about this dude. But we have a longtime listener, a very cool guy, a very knowledgeable. That's a hard word about MMA. He's kind of a boomer MMA fan like me, so that's always cool. We have Felipe Melo here. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Fanyo? Good, man. Thanks for having me on. So happy to be on. An honor to be on for sure. Slightly upset that I won't get to debunk the claims that I do indeed look like Steven Seagal. Trust me, everybody, I do look like Steven Seagal. I am exactly as handsome as Steven Seagal. But unfortunately, you will contend with the picture. And yeah, man, super happy to be on and discuss a questionable fight card and I guess some interesting things that did happen over the weekend at least.
Yeah, for sure. And the reason that we have our boy Melo here is that it's obviously a racist reason because my guy is from Brazil, so we're having him here to talk about Poatan and the Brazil card.
Yeah, very happy. There is not a lot of like vocal Bolsonaro fans in this card. Very, very happy. Otherwise, I would be kind of mad.
Yeah,
Luckily,
we will not be having like the MAGA equivalent card over in Brazil. So.
exactly, exactly.
So let's get into 320 first. So obviously 320 headlined by Poatan versus Ankalaev. So Ankalaev took the title from Alex Pereira, and now Pereira came back with a vengeance. Just went at him like a madman, crippled him with like two kicks, and then caught him with an overhand and killed him with 12-6 elbows. So, what were your thoughts on that?
It's so rare where you see like a 5 round dismantling, and then in the rematch you just see the guy who did the dismantling get blown out, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah, this is the real result actually. This is how the fight should have actually gone. And now it's coming out that maybe Ankalaev was injured, and apparently I saw like a Brazilian MMA media guy say that Ankalaev had a broken rib like 3 weeks out. So maybe that matters, maybe that doesn't. But Poatan just looked way more confident, way more assertive from the get go. When he's letting the right hand rip, he's got it on for that tonight for that night. So very frustrating for Ankalaev. Ankalaev, so he's supposed to be the goods. He's supposed to have all the skill, but Poatan just like embarrassed him. He treated him like Pantoja treats like all of the flyweights that he doesn't respect. He just flies across the cage and he's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, pretty much. And but now that you say that Ankalaev might be injured, like maybe because he did look a bit slow to me actually,
Yeah, it just
but but it's
the moment
like
he got like it, the
if
moment he got like
Ankalaev
it, it
goes, I mean, if Poachan goes like as aggressive to you as that, like the chances of you dying are not small. So
yeah, no, it's a 100% was a in the books result. He took the kicks. He reacted terribly to the leg kick again. It's like this result makes sense, but yeah, maybe we see a trilogy. I'm still interested if they fight a third time, but well, I don't think they'll ever let Uncle Live nearby
yeah,
him.
the UFC does not want that. Ankalaev will need like at least like 3 wins to get a title shot back. And we were just talking about like old school fighters before starting recording. And how long was John Fitch's streak after like losing to GSP? He was on like a
Oh,
6 fight winning streak, right?
minimum 6 fights. Minimum six
Oh,
fights. I mean, that's not even going to the win streak that he had to fight GSP to begin with. That one was already like stupid long, and then he went on
he
another stupid long win streak.
he had to beat like he had to beat Thiago Alves on both streaks.
Exactly. And it's like, oh man, the second time was so upsetting as well. It's like, Thiago, please do it, man. And he's like, nah, John Fitch is just too good. Unfortunately,
John
John
Fitch
Fitch is actually really good.
undeniable, sadly, yeah. So Akalai might be in a situation like that, especially with the way that you could tell during the pay-per-view that the UFC really wanted like Pereira to win. And also like the Dean Thomas comments that were very weird, like with him saying that he wanted him to trade him to the PFL.
Just disrespectful as fuck, man. You know what? Go for it, Dean Thomas. If it was anybody else in the UFC, I'd say disrespect, but go for it, man. I appreciate it coming from Dean Thomas.
Dean Thomas, man. But yeah, I mean, not a lot to say. Maybe we can speculate a little bit about what's next for Poatan. Like, uh, it seems like he actually wants to go to heavyweight.
I'm for it, man. Honestly, like, what are you gonna do? Fight Yuri a third time? Nobody cares, you know. Fight Ankalaev a third time? Nobody cares for the most part. You know, fight Olberg. Like, what's Olberg has like nothing to offer Poitin. Maybe you disagree.
Yeah,
And
I
then
love
you know,
Ulberg, but I mean, even if it's like an interesting fight, maybe, but it's like it's not going to generate like any hype. I mean, it's like generic Alex Pereira fight at this point, and like the UFC might be want to get out more than just that out of Alex Pereira's fights, especially now that he might be in the eclipse of his career, right?
oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the whole hype now is like the UFC White House card. And given that there are no American champions outside of Kayla Harrison, and Kayla Harrison will never ever headline the UFC White House card, if the shit even happens. But I feel like the UFC would be thrilled to do John Jones versus Poatan
Yeah, and
in the
there's
White House.
like some people were saying like because like sadly Jones Arthur Jones died that same day. So, but it's the white car house is like a year from now. So, John Jones probably might be available to that, and like it's a lot like it's a lot more likely that John Jones is willing to fight like Alex Pereira than he is to fight Aspinall because we know he's terrified of Aspinall. But you know who is not terrified of Aspinall? That's Alex Pereira.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. I don't think the UFC would ever make that fight, but I would actually be pretty interested to see it. There's like 99% chance Aspinall just like double legs him in 5 seconds and the fight's over. But you know what, man? Plata has kind of earned the right to have a stupid fight at this point in his career, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, Dana White always comes up with like the weirdest narratives around when he doesn't want to fight. Like now he's saying that like Alex Pereira is too small for John Jones now, which is like what? Like
Insane. Yeah.
Alex Pereira has an insane ability to bulk. Like he was like the biggest middleweight of all time. Move up to like heavyweight and immediately put on like 20 extra pounds and was like the biggest like heavyweight. So I would
It's
not
absurd, man.
I would not be surprised if Alex Pereira is like over 240 in very good shape.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, like, if he gets to a heavyweight and he ties up with Aspinall, I would be shocked if he just doesn't get, like, kind of tossed around in the clinch, because that's a heavyweight. But to pretend he's not a fucking massive guy, like, come on, man. Like, he's bigger than a lot of heavyweights, for sure.
He's bigger now, and we've seen that. We've seen like some like heavyweights turn out on heavyweight and being bigger than the heavyweights. Like we saw, like Jailton was kind of small when he moved up initially. He put on a bit of lean mass, and now he's one of the bigger guys around in the division. Like
Yeah,
I was shocked in the last few fights how big Jailton is now, and he's not like out of shape. That's how you know he's huge because he's still ripped, and he's like over 250 inside the cage.
for sure. In his case, I wish he was, stop doing some dumbbell curls and he started doing, like, some ground pound training. That would be insane.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw. I'm still amazed at how massive Vitor Petrino was at heavyweight. It was everything I wanted and more. It was so huge, man.
Dude, there used to be that joke, right, where it's like, Luke Rockhold, you only get to have sex with your girl because Luke Rockhold didn't get there first. Peter Petrino is like the newest edition of that man. The dude is
Yeah,
extremely handsome and like comically large at this point, man. It is
he's
insane
a
how jacked he is.
square now at like heavyweight, man. I mean, at heavyweight, he's insane.
I wish he was like actually good, but alas, here we are.
But he's athletic enough to win. Like he's going to have like an over 50% record at heavyweight for sure.
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, not a lot else to say about the main event. Co-main event was a lot more interesting. We have now long-standing champion Merab Dvalishvili against Cory Sandhagen. So how do you think Sandhagen did in this one?
I think he did good, man. He did good. It's hard to feel bad about a fight where you nearly took 3 rounds. He was never going to win because of the 10-8. But he came pretty close to taking 3 rounds. I think I had him taking I think it was the first and the fourth. If I'm not
Yeah, the
mistaken,
first
first
and
and
the
the fourth.
fourth I thought were like still close, but like kind of clear for Sandhagen in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's like so you can't feel bad from that perspective, but it's like two things. Like this one thing is like you got to beat Merab on like the narrative of the fight. At the same time, as stupid as that may be, if you're getting ragdolled and mat returned a million times and you're not like kneeing the guy's skull at the same time, that in times that you're not doing that, he's always going to be winning the round. You know, we can abide by the scoring criteria all we want. The judges disagree, and if you're doing that constantly, then it sucks. But all things considered, man, he looked career best. I thought, it was like kind of marrying all the different elements that he's been working on over the years. The wrestling defense showed up. He pressured more. He jabbed more. He started leg kicking. He abandoned it towards the end. Still missing some of that creativity he had when he was coming up. But overall, man, looked pretty good. Just Merab's getting better, and it sucks that the guy who with like insane cardio is getting better. So it's tough out there.
Yeah, I thought the one thing that was missing from like Sanhagen from old was like the combination punching. He was like a lot more measured, just one twos, and every time he was like throwing a power shot, he was not committing and he was looking to angle out. So he was like very careful. But Sanhagen, I feel like he was playing the striking game that he was playing was too pared down to play like kind of game plan. Like I feel like he wanted to do something like Jack Della Maddalena did against like Bilal, but he's not that. He doesn't have the depth in the boxing, right? Like Jack Della is a lot more dexterous with both hands, and it's like has a better like sense of rhythm and timing. Uh, Cory nowadays is a bit more like meat and potatoes, so I think he needed to go for like bigger strikes to establish more like respect from Merab's part, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's like it's a completely separate fight that happened on Friday. But you watch Paul Hughes against Usman Nurmagomedov. The second one just happened, and it's like kind of a similar theme where it's like, man, if you're on the front foot, you gotta be willing to like just kind of let your arsenal show off. I understand the stepping in into a takedown was a very scary opposition, and if you watch Usman Hughes, that happened a million times where he'd sneak out into the left hook by Hughes and he'd take the back. And Cory just has to do the same, man. He has to like let go a little bit more, be willing to wrestle out in those center of the cage positions that he's clearly extremely good at. And just man, let go of that offense, the combination punching, like you said, the shot selection, the variety, the stand switches. Just be a bit more aggressive. But it's a tough ask, man. You got this fucking Georgian midget fidgeting like crazy in front of you, fainting like a million level changes. It must be so difficult to fight
Yeah,
Merab.
yeah, for sure. It was like I like you wanted to be more aggressive, but you at the same time you understand why he wasn't more aggressive. Like um and Merab has improved a lot in the striking, man. Like he's not going to turn into like one of the best strikers in the sport, but he's like making progress in like the right directions, man. And he's just sharp, man. Like he's not insanely technical, but he has a few tools and he applies them well. And he's aggressive and he takes full advantage of because people talk a lot about like Merab like exploiting his cardio. In this fight, it wasn't a lot of that because like Cory was in amazing shape, and I was pretty prepared to see like Cory like hang out in the cardio department against Merab, but he was exploiting the takedown threat for sure. Just like stepping in, and he knew that Cory Sanhagen was going to back up because like Cory was not willing to like try to sleep or take an angle or pivot when he was unsure. He was like just backing up, and Merab was like closing the distance aggressively, throwing that big right hand. I was tweeting live, not to pat my own back, but I was tweeting live after the first round, and I was like, those right hands are very close. I would not be surprised if he landed one and hurt Cory. Then second round he hurts him immediately. And but yeah, it was like he was getting so close, and you knew that Cory was not super sure how to defend, and he eventually got hurt, and Merab went like psycho mode. Merab is not a good finisher, but he takes advantage of the situation when he hurts you for sure.
Yeah, he understands what's going on. Like against Marlon Moraes, like he understood that like, oh man, I should just try to murder this guy, like right away when he was gassed. And yeah, man, Merab is just tough. There's like, it's like kind of cliche to say, but like there's no easy night with Merab. And if you're not like extremely sharp, then it's not gonna be an easy night for you. It'll be an easy night for him most likely. This was not an easy fight for him, but he makes it look easy optically, which is really shitty. If you're a fighter, it's really hard to overcome. So yeah, man, I'm happy for Cory. I'm happy he got to show out. I imagine he's super frustrated with his performance because he did a lot better than I think a lot of people expected, especially if you're like a casual fan. He probably exceeded expectations. And I think even if you're a hardcore fan, I think it's clear to see Sandhagen had way better ideas than like most guys who fought Merab. Like I would be curious to hear what you say, but I thought he fought better than Umar, even though Umar probably fought like to a closer decision. I thought the way Sandhagen was fighting was like way more sustainable. Umar was always gonna gas out the way he was
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah. Umar was throwing way too hard, and he doesn't have the gas tanks to sustain that. Um, and Umar, I feel, yeah, Umar has like a better skill set to deal with Merab, but he was not like putting together a fight that was like his fight. I felt like Umar was like too prideful about like being able to compete with Merab everywhere. Uh, and especially because, and I felt like he fell into a trap because he was like out wrestling like Moravian on the early rounds, like not like holding him down, but you can tell that he was getting the better of the wrestling exchanges. And then as the fight went on, he started getting super tired. And even when he
Yeah,
was tired, he was still able to like compete, but the optics were way off for Umar later in the fight. Like I don't
yep,
think any judge gave him the fourth round, and the fourth round was like super close.
yep, yeah. Same thing with Sandhagen, right? Sandhagen, I think
Yeah,
looked actually pretty good this round, but I don't think it's like nobody's ever gonna score that round for him. Like, are you kidding me?
yeah, for sure. So yeah, what's next for Merab? To me, it's like the clear option is the winner between Umar and Mario Bautista. That's the one, right?
Yeah, I think Bautista. There's reason to think Bautista can do a lot of the stuff that Sandhagen did, but he has the advantage, I think, of being a little bit sturdier physically. I think he can tie up with Merab a little bit stronger, and I think he's also just a little bit more like maybe like violence oriented. I want to say like he's just more
Nowadays,
aggressive in
yeah,
areas.
I feel like Bautista, like the game plan that Cory was doing against Merab comes more naturally to Bautista. Like he likes like moving around more, but also he's not as scared about like putting some pepper into his shots. He's not afraid of mixing it up with everyone, which is something that like Sandhagen like wanted to do. But I feel like the confidence from Cory like erosion after that 10-8, right? I feel
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
I feel like Bautista like nowadays like I feel like he has some of the kind of weird because when they fought like Cory was like the guy with the swag and the confidence, right? When Cory beat Bautista back in the day, but
Yep.
I feel like the roles are kind of reversed now. Like, but Bautista is the guy that is like brimming with confidence into every fight, and is like more violence oriented. As you said, like he's not scared about like taking like a risky decision here and there if it means that he gets to like impose his game.
Yeah, and like people are gonna be listening, like, haha, like how dare you say that about Mario Batista? Did you not watch the Jose Aldo fight? And it's like, yes, that fucking sucked. No one would deny that. That was not fun to watch by Batista. But that's like the only time he's ever done that. And yeah, man, it's funny that, like you said, it's funny that these guys fought early on, him and Sandhagen, and Sandhagen was like the super cool prospect. Bautista was like, some random dude was gonna be cut, you would imagine. And now Bautista's like maybe he had a more complete game than Sandhagen does. Maybe not skill for skill, he can match Sandhagen, but he definitely has a little bit more of a coherent and like game that just like feeds into itself a little bit more. So I'd be excited to see that, and I'd be excited to see honestly Peter Yan fight against Merab too. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's still a good fight. I think Peter Yan is he's definitely not the same guy, right? He's definitely not the same guy he was before. But I do think he's kind of hitting like a second little mini prime. Like, he's not as good as he was before, but he is like kind of improving slowly from where he was before. So yeah, I think it's a little bit interesting.
and I feel like is like Merab is a lot better like technically now, but I have the suspicion that Merab is not the cardio monster that he was for that first Peter Yan fight. Like
Oh, I agree, man. I agree.
like he still has. Don't get me wrong. He still has like the maybe the still the best cardio in the UFC, but that guy that night was something else. That
Yeah, that was freakish. That was freakish.
was insane. That made no sense.
Like honestly, if you want to talk about a guy I would really wish to see Merab, and maybe this is just a little bit too much hopeful for me, I want to see Pantoja fight against Merab. I think so. I think Pantoja actually matches up decently with Merab. Size Merab's a massive bantamweight, and that kind of kills the fight right away.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
the
actually
big
think
thing about that fight
I think it's super interesting.
because Pantoja is like it's a lot more dynamic of a scrambler, and that like matches kind of up badly with Merab. Not that he's going to grapple him, but he's going to get rid of Merab in the wrestling situations much faster than someone like Cory Sandhagen. That it's a lot more like methodical. That he needs to get to the cage, he needs to fight grips. It's a lot more slower, and that allows Merab to like win minutes of the rounds, right?
Exactly.
Pantoja is and Pantoja is a very good wrestler too. Like as a defensive wrestler, like he makes some mistakes sometimes. For example, he allowed Manel Cap, for example, in their fight, to get on the hips to get some takedown going. But once he gets into wrestling mode, he's so dynamic. Like he rolls. He never allows guys to connect the hands during grips. If you go back and see like his fight against like Askarov, who is a very high level wrestler too, like. And I insist that Pantoja was robbed in that fight for sure. but but yeah, if he was a bit bigger, man, it would be a fantastic fight, I feel.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it'd be amazing. And on the feet, all those things you just talked about, are like, Paul Hughes, Cory, and like all these guys need to be more aggressive on the front foot against wrestlers.
You know Pantoja
Attack
would throw like heat at Merab.
100%. He would throw the sloppiest overhand left hook of his life.
and if
But you know what? It worked. It would
yeah,
work.
and if Merab starts backing out, like he would be met with huge leg kicks, like insane leg kicks.
Exactly. So I'm fine with like any of the top guys against Merab. I still think it's compelling to matches, but the tree matchup would be like a Pantoja on like a HDH for a year. That'd be sweet.
Last one about Merab. What about Merab versus like Volkanovski?
That should be a layup for Volkanovski,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
I feel
doesn't
like
look like
Volkanovski's
anything like that.
awful for Merab. Like
Completely awful.
made in a lab to beat him.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, I have a hard time even like thinking about how Merab does that fight. It looks
And
absolutely
it
horrible
would
for
be
him.
more interesting if it's the same for Pantoja for Merab that Volk is so big, right?
Yeah, and he's
Like
so strong.
they're kind of the same height, but Volkanovski is like a thick ass dude, man.
He's a brick shithouse, man. Volk is so strong. You see him in those tie-ups against Islam.
When
It's
he was
absurd.
horsing like he's a Makachev around, like oh Jesus Christ, man.
Fucking insane, man.
Yeah. Okay, let's move into what was like unanimously for everyone like the best fight of the night. I went crazy at this one, and people know that I'm not like a Jiri fanboy, but this was insane. And Jiri Prochazka fought Khalil Rountree, got the finish on the third round. Khalil winning 1 and 2 like super clean. Jiri still doing work towards the end of both rounds, but I feel like they were like very clear Khalil rounds, and then Jiri like turn off the heat, and I said on the preview like this is going to eventually become like it's going to get chaotic, and you don't have to have Jiri in front of you when it gets chaotic, man.
No, it's terrifying, man. It's terrifying, and like I don't enjoy Khalil that much for the same reason that you point out all the time. Like this dude has the worst mechanics ever on his power punches, and it's so
Yeah,
hard to get over that. But look super disciplined fight. He didn't even rely on the leg kicks too much. I have a hard time thinking Yuri wasn't like compromised somehow in this fight. I don't think anything came out afterwards, but he definitely did. He looked terrible, man, for the first 2 rounds. But like you said, the moment the fight gets like the teeniest bit sloppy, it's just a snowball for Yuri. And the dude, he's so creative with his offense, man. He's willing to try out just about any strike, and if that strike is working, he will immediately span it, which is very very basic but very effective
yeah,
in my
and
opinion.
it was funny because it didn't like turn into like a slugfest. You could see it coming before. It was like Jiri found the jab, and like the moment you saw that Khalil had that face of like, dude, please leave me alone for a second, that I knew I knew it was over, man.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, Khalil definitely a confidence fighter too, man. So the moment the his game starts wilting a bit, it seems like it starts to fall apart, and it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, he went back and forth in between like, oh, I'm either defending or I'm throwing something huge to try to scare this guy, and you're not going to scare this guy.
Nope, nope. And you kind of saw the same thing when you fought Poatan, where it's like, no matter how good he's doing, he just can't like. And the moment Poatan starts to saying like, and let his nuts hang, and be like, no, we're gonna fight, we're gonna slug it out. Khalil's like, all right, man, can we take a break? Can we chill
Yeah,
out for a bit?
Yeah,
it's tough. It's
he
tough.
doesn't thrive in that. Very few fighters do, which is what makes Jiri special, man.
Yeah,
So what's next for Jiri? So it depends. If Boatan is like moving up, uh, I think like Jiri versus Ulberg for the interim would be fire actually.
yeah. Jiri Ankalaev, honestly, I
Jiri
think is a good
Ankalaev
fight.
is a long time coming. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very good fight. Aside from that, I think light heavyweight, man, it is
No,
what it
like
is,
hey,
right?
wait. I mean, we have at least we have a few guys on top now, but other than
Yeah,
that, it's looking dreadful for
yeah, like
most of
good to
it.
see Ulberg. It's nice to see Ulberg at the top. Ulberg's not a bad fighter. He's very like well schooled, despite also having a lot of issues the way that he fights. But yeah, I mean, getting
Yeah,
ready
but
for
I
the
mean,
title, something
at
like
least
that.
you can see that there's like a Ulberg is a bit of a head case, I feel, because like there's no reason to have like the moments of inactivity that he sometimes does, because like it seems like he has fixed the cardio as well. So when he sucks, he's like a head scratcher. But when he's
Yeah,
good, he's actually very good.
it's the Adesanya in him.
Yep.
When you're 6'4" and you grow up fighting city kickboxing, it's impossible that you're not going to be similar to Israel Adesanya. So I chalk it up to
With a better left hook than Easy though, which is like his saving grace. But yeah, I mean it was. But yeah, I mean Jiri rules, man. For Khalil, like, a step down for sure.
Yeah, step down. Um, yeah, keep him fighting the top 10 guys. Also, let him take a break, man. He's taking some beatings
Yeah,
recently.
the fights have been rough.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's a
him
lot of
versus
damage.
Jan, maybe because Jan hasn't
Yeah,
retired, right? So maybe Khalil versus Jan could be good.
yeah, Yana, I guess. It's like who else is in the rankings? You got yeah, he already beat Jamal Hill. Rakic is like Dominic Reyes. You're not
I
gonna
mean,
fight him.
if Rakic is still a thing, or maybe Reyes because they lost like at similar timelines, so maybe it like lines up, right? So Reyes maybe, yeah.
Sakhanov or Guskov, like those would actually be like fun action fights
Yeah,
in ironically.
actually, I like the Mursakanov one.
Yeah, so yeah, something like that. But ideally, Khalil's not in your title picture, man. He's not of that caliber. He's lacking
He
in a
had
lot of
his
ways.
moment, and he made people believe that he was a bit better than he actually is. So
Yeah, it's okay. Settle into your role as like a top five action fighter
yeah,
in the division, man.
and
It's a great
nothing
role.
wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that we had Yusuf Zalal against Josh Emmett. Fantastic performance by Zalal. I was shocked to see he actually got that takedown. Like Emmett, like obviously a former collegiate wrestler, but has never leaned on his wrestling much in MMA. At least not for the last like 7 or 8 years. But he's still like a ball of muscle, 5'6" guy at featherweight. Like he's not going to be easy to take down. And Salal got clean on those hips and actually complete the takedown. I was very surprised with that. And then when transition started going, Salal was aggressive, man. He lost the back take and went immediately to the armbar and got the tap. It was fantastic.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, so Law looked amazing. If you look at the takedown he hit on Emmett, yeah, it looks like he starts shooting before Emmett even steps in. So like either maybe he got a little bit lucky with Emmett
Maybe,
stepping
yeah.
on the exact moment, but if not, that's just some sick timing. Like he stepped in and like a beat after Emmett steps in, and Emmett just explodes in, so it's the easiest takedown in the world. He finishes him where he starts. It's like it's perfect stuff.
Yeah,
And
and it was
then
like and it's very cool to see like an outfighter with some wrestling shops like applying the advantages of the outfighter in the wrestling because like most wrestling is like pressure based nowadays in MMA. But Salal is a throwback to like a guy like George St. Pierre in that sense. Um which is funny because he actually has a very good jab too, but I think still they're like very different fighters. But but Salal is coming like he has like a cool style that we don't see often in MMA, like a committed outfighter, but one that is not passive. It's very aggressive. It's looking to move you into shots. It's looking to play the transition game. I like Salal a lot, man.
yeah, man. No, me too. I think he matches up really interestingly with a lot of people in the division. I do think he's a little bit of like a stealth grappler in a sense that that's his actual like A game, or at
Yeah,
least he feels it's his A game. Like the moving on the outside, being tricky with the knees, being tricky with the kicks, super super fast as well, man. Like that guy is so fucking quick for the division. but I think like in his heart of hearts, he wants to grapple guys. That's why I thought this matchup was a little bit sketchy for him, a little bit. If he couldn't wrestle Emmett, turned out that's just like a non-issue, and that was super cool to see. But nah, man, I'm super high on Zalal as well. I think he's a super unique fighter, like you said. So rare to see a guy who's comfortable on the outside, and I think yeah, like anything, honestly, anyone in the top 10 and above, I think it's a really cool fight for him.
Yeah, if Murphy's not getting the title shot, like Zalal versus Murphy would go crazy, man.
Great fight. That's like a true like nerdy fight as well, like a
Yeah,
hardcore.
yeah, that's for like guys like us, actually.
Oh yeah, I'd be thrilled for that fight. I'd be thrilled if we fought Jean Silva as
Oh
well.
yeah,
I think that's a super cool fight. But yeah, man, we'll see what they do with him. The fact that Dana denied him the 50K the way he asked for it makes me think that they fucking hate him though. I'll be
yeah,
honest.
yeah. Dana, yeah. I mean, he got Dana is a bit of like a crybaby, so he was probably annoyed at him because like people were booing him, and,
Oh yeah, it's stupid as shit, man.
which is like insane because it was like a sick submission, man. It was fantastic, man, and
Yeah, it reminded me of like a Pettis Bendo, that armbar, where it's just like it's like
yeah,
oh he has an armbar. Oh, it's over. Never mind.
yeah, that was, and verbal tapped as well, just like Petty Special Bender.
Exactly. So yeah, no, it's a super massive, massive feather on his cap to tap out any alpha male wrestler in 90 seconds, man. Massive, massive credit.
Yeah, and unlike and Emmett like has shown like despite not being like an active wrestler of his own, he has shown to be a very good grappler. Like when Topuria got on top of him when he was hurt as shit, like Emmett was defending well in those situations. So you
Yeah, that
can,
was the fifth round. The
yeah,
fifth round of that fight too.
Emmett has like he actually grapples like.
Yep. No, it's
Talking about
must be.
grappling, let's speedrun the rest of the card because we have taken a while. I mean, it was very fun, but because there were like big fights, right? But let's go quicker with these ones. Middleweight, the opener of the main card was Joe Pyfer against Abus Magomedov. Pyfer goes for a sloppy takedown first round, gets reversed. Magomedov like schools him from top position. But then second round, Abus gets hit with a stupid big overhand right, and Pyfer is actually legit from top position. He trains with very high level guys, Pat Sabatini, Sean Brady, those kind of guys, and he has shown that that arm triangle. Uh, it was not an arm triangle at the end, right? He was looking
Yeah,
for it
yeah,
to
it
begin.
was like it's a super tight rear naked choke.
Oh, okay, okay. Ah, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right. I remember now that Abus did not address the hand that was like super deep for whatever reason, and he ended up tapping. Yeah. But yeah, Pyfer legit from top, but yeah, Pyfer is not it, man. I mean, not that he's a completely fine like top 15, top 10 level fighter, but like title aspirations I think are off the table at this moment.
for sure. I mean, he got the big punch. He tries to land that right in a lot of ways. He has a good top game, good jujitsu, but Abus Magomedov is just like one of the worst ranked guys in the UFC probably at this point. And yeah, it's hard to be excited about a guy who also says no body cam off or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
whatever, man.
The thing with Abus is that Abus is like actually like pretty skilled, but he has like three things that combined are pretty bad, which is like he's kind of janky, he's confidence based, and he gasses. Like those three are
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
such a bad combination because when you start falling off, you fall off like hard. When
Yeah, he must kill it when he's doing drills at the gym. He must look
yeah,
amazing.
he
And then
must
get
be
into a
so
fight.
good, but then he starts getting tired, and if he gets tired, he starts doubting himself, and when he starts doubting himself, he gets sloppy, and those three together are like
Exactly. It's like just yeah, you're not coming back, man. You're not no comeback victories for Abus.
yeah, except when he did that against judo guy from Brazil. What's his name?
Oh, Bruno Ferreira, man.
Yeah, but
Bro,
because Bruno Ferreira is
that's
like this. It's kind of like the opposite, but at the same time, this the exactly same kind of fighter that he is.
exactly for sure.
Yeah, staying at middleweight, the featured bout of the prelims, Ateba Gautier got offered a human sacrifice in the form of Treston Bynes. Do you have anything to say about that one?
One of the greatest moments I've seen in MMA. Ateba Gautier getting the double collar tie, lifting Vines off his hips, and then tossing him, and it looked like he just got knocked out from the whiplash.
And
of getting tossed
it
apart.
looked like that, but then looking at the replay, it seems like Banks was like knocked out already from a previous elbow, and no one
Sure.
noticed. So he was already like stiff.
Yeah, absurd. So happy that fight gave that visual. Otherwise, meaningless fight. Although Gautier, a cool prospect, man. I'm here for it.
Gautier, the thing about Gautier is that these kind of like guys that get like Joe Rogan very horny, and with that I mean like very explosive black guys. Um, they usually don't have the mechanics of Ateba Gautier. Ateba Gautier is kind of clean at distance, which is like a very good selling point for a guy that hits like this.
Yeah,
Because
and
he's
it
like,
doesn't look like
you cannot
it
count
doesn't
on
look like
him
he
on
tries
doing
to fight.
something super stupid. Like,
Yeah, yeah, he doesn't fight stupid. He doesn't like he's not stupid aggressive either. He just kind of fights and then guys get finished because they're kind of bad and he's so good or so strong. So yeah, man, I like to watch his fights. I'm a little bit invested in it, but otherwise,
yeah, the ceiling
meaningless
the
fight.
ceiling is still like a question mark, but there's potential there for sure. Before that, we had like the best fight of the prelims. Daniel Willy Fat Santos fought Zombie Junior, Yu Sang Yu, and great fight. Yu Sang Yu looked very clean on the first round. Santos got a few takedowns. He was aura farming, like he was like, please make TikTok edits of this. Like he was doing like, oh, I'm bored of this guy trying to lay me out to fight. But then on the second round, Daniel Santos came out with the vengeance and puts him out with a left hook, man.
Yeah,
And crazy finish, man. Santos is so fast at 145, man.
yeah, awesome to see. First round, he looked terrible. Not gonna lie, he looked super slow, or not slow, but just like slower than Zombie Junior. And
Yeah,
then yeah, cool to see second round, and the way he caught him as well. It's like a very just natural like adaptation to the way Zombie Junior was circling
exactly.
out of exchanges. It's like let me just go 3 times instead of two, and yeah, caught him easy. The biggest thing is the weight, man. It's like what are we doing? Oh, Willie Fat. Why are we calling you Willie Fat, man? We don't want to call you Willie Fat. Come back to 145. Please be normal.
uh, yeah, man. I don't know if like Willie Cat should go back to 135 or stay at 145, but missing weight at 145 is inexcusable because you're not big at that division, man. It's
Absolutely not.
that's 100% like shoot a box of bullshit.
No, man, those guys do not know how to cut weight. It's really scary. It's
they're
so scary.
just they're just carrying the legacy of Nova União, man.
Exactly. No, but, credit to them. Jose Aldo, he made weight every single time.
Except for
Credit
the
to him.
last one, yeah, but
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's true. That's true. He went to the pizza buffet well, one too many times last camp. But yeah, man, cool to see. Willie Cat's really cool. I think he's probably the second best guy to shoot bucks now. So cool to see him doing well. And Zombie Junior, I think he's a cool guy to keep an eye on as well.
yeah, Zombie Junior, I'm still high on him, man.
Yeah,
Like
I,
this is a good prospect loss to have, to be honest.
for sure.
Before that, Jacob Viklash, I think they say his name, fought Pachimix. A very close decision. He got the split there. Uh, round two was super close. Pachimix won the third. Viklash won the first. Thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I thought Patchy won, but it was a close fight. Patchy definitely not going to live up to any sort of expectations people had. Coming in as Bellator champ, this is like a really bad loss for him to take. Even though Wicklash I think is pretty decent. But coolest part about the fight was Wicklash's butterfly guard. Like
Yeah,
amazing stuff
very
using the
cool.
with the underhook. The last one he hit was just like off double overhooks as well. So it's like I was watching him like, oh man, he's only doing this because Patchy gives up the underhook every time, and then sure enough, he gets double overhooks and doesn't have any
He
problems.
still did it, yeah.
So that was awesome.
Pachi with some cool like grappling on the third round, especially because I mean, at Viklash was obviously like getting tired, but at the same time, like Pachi Mix, uh, kind of like scouted him as the fight went on, and like finally figured out like, okay, he's going for these entries for the butterfly sweep, and he's doing this, and he like finally figured out some passes and got like very solid top position. I mean, Pachi Mix obviously very legit grappler. But yeah, man,
Super legit.
he's not going like people that were saying he was like the best like bantamweight in the world. No man, he was not.
Yeah, like I don't know about you. My take was that he was like a top 10 guy. I feel like super wrong now. I feel like actually this guy is just like super matchup reliant, and he needs to fight guys who are shorter than him. Like, and we clash was had a height parity with him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like
super disappointing.
yeah, people were saying like there's very few people that might be a trouble for Pachimix, and it's like there's guys that are not at the elite, at the super elite of the division that would be hell for Pachimix. Like Ricky Simon would be awful for Pachimix, man.
Awful, completely awful. But yeah, Wicklash, cool guy to have in the division, cool
Very cool
grappler.
addition to the division, man. And Patch is still a good addition to the division. You just gotta like reassess your. I mean, you just gotta reassess his potential, but he's still very cool to have, man. Like he's maybe not going to have like super exciting fights all the time, but he's like a skilled like big guy that is going to like be a good test for other fighters on the combat at the very least. So I'm still happy that Pachimix is here. Big
Yep,
Clash is very good addition to the division. He's going to be in some insane fights.
yep. He did also the double kick, right? He did like a body kick off the same
Yeah,
leg,
yeah, a lot
and
of
that was
them. Yeah. Yeah, Big Clash actually surprised me with the kicking, man. He looked sharp on the feet here.
yeah, that was cool to see. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
excited to see him.
Before that, Edmen Shahbazyan fought Andre Muniz, and yeah, just as Muniz, to be fair, like I thought he showed up with like improved striking here. Just kind of the wrong guy to show that off.
Yeah,
Muniz was starting to like make the fight like ugly, and like you can tell that Edmund was starting to hate it a little bit. But when you're that wonky against a guy that is clean, you're always in danger, and in danger he was because Edmund caught him with a left hook and did not did not forgive on the ground, and he went crazy with the elbows to finish the fight.
yeah. Edmund is like such a naturally gifted, like violent guy. It's really cool to see once he hurts a guy how he's so good at keeping him hurt for the most part. Although honestly, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Andre Muniz, every time he's lost, it's been at the end of the round, whether it's the first round or the second round or the third round. Pretty sure every time he loses, it's the end of the round. So there might be something there for him to like pay attention. As like,
Maybe he like loses focus or something. Yeah, might be. He was
something like
actually
that.
it was funny because on the Brendan Allen fight, he was having on the third round, he was having like his best moment there. The third round, he was having like a competitive round, and then Allen took him down and shook him out, like just near the end there. It was so funny, man. Like when
Yeah,
he's like loses the plot, man.
yeah, but he's a good fighter though. He's a good grappler. Kicks hard as fuck as well. Has a super hard kick.
He's a
But
big,
yeah,
very
he's just
big
like
dude at 185, man.
super big guy. Like he beat Iron Turtle, and I think I think that shows his level. I think Iron Turtle's pretty good fighter.
Yeah, I
And
mean
Muniz,
that decision could have gone either way, but the fact that he
yeah,
was like able to take him down and control him because like Iron Turtle, very very hard to control, man.
yeah. So like that's his level. And it was cool to see Edmen. Cool to see Edmen. 27 or 28 in actual years, closer to 40 in like actual fight years.
And
So
it's
cool to see him have
yeah,
success.
and it's cool to see a guy finally listening to Eric Nixik too.
Exactly.
Okay, early prelims. Punahele Soriano fought Nikolai Veretenikov. Awful fight. I like Puna, but I'm questioning this. Like, I think that if you have like kind of a limited gas tank and you're going to play like the top position thing, and you're a beast of an athlete, right? Like Soriano, after the knee injury, he has not been the same like athletically, but he's still a bit of a beast, right? Uh,
Yeah, no, he's a hoss still, man. But
Tengo
it's hard to
Yuki.
watch that fight and not think like, man, Veretennikov should have just like beaten the shit out of it. He should have just beaten the shit out of Veretennikov.
Yeah, he should have gone for more damage, man. That was the problem, man. Like Puna who
Completely.
should have gone to a right and just let it go with huge punches, and Veretenikov would have been like more tired and more damaged on that third round. So it was on his best interest, to be honest. But Veretenikov can like kind of stupid going for that guillotine when it was very clear that Puna is very good at defending guillotines, and and it was
No,
not
yeah.
going to work out, man.
Veretennikov is one of those guys that you have a hard time understanding why they're the UFC. Not because he's like terrible, even though his modern game is just maybe one of the worst. But this guy's 35 and he's still like this. And he has
Yeah,
20 professional fights. It's like, dude, like, you can't be doing this, man.
Vertenikov is like it's funny because he's on a harder division and he's like a worse version of Abus Magomedov.
Exactly. A boost without the finishing.
Yeah. Before that we have Yana Santos versus Macy Chiasson. Chiasson showed up overweight for this one. which is funny because her camp was complaining a lot about Caitlin Vieira showing up overweight for her fight, the last fight before this one. But to the surprise of many people, this was fire for 2 rounds because these girls were beating the shit out of each other inside the clinch. And then the third round was kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah, not the most sophisticated clinch work. It's a lot of like you hold a collar tie, I punch you, and then I hold the collar tie, you punch me. That's a lot of
And
that kind of clinch work, and a lot of
yeah,
knees in the clinch. But those are actually pretty good. But yeah, fun fight, fun clinch work. But both two very limited women in the division.
yeah. I mean, Yana has been developing, but it's kind of late for her. Like she's kind of up in age, and the big problem with Yana, I feel that she relies on being physical, but there are like better athletes in the division. So
Yeah,
she's always going to struggle, like when she gets to fight someone like I don't know, like Irene Aldana, Norma Dumont. These girls that are just like hit a lot harder than her, so she cannot like bully her way into these fights.
yeah, or even like Kathleen Vieira. It's like
Yeah,
Kathleen Vieira is like a beast. She's like super big for the weight class. So yeah, yeah, but yeah, like you said, cool to see that she's getting better. Um, she debuted like when she was still called Yana Hunskaya, and she
yeah,
looked terrible. She looked absolutely terrible at that time. So
she's a lot better
cool to see
now.
her
Yeah.
get better.
Before that, Farid Basharat, the younger of the Basharats, fought my boy Chris Gutierrez. And Basharat not very impressive here, man.
No, I agree.
Because
I agree.
Guti was fighting like trash, and I was expecting him to fight like trash in this one because he's like he has a fellow kicker who has takedowns. That's awful when you're a kicker that don't want to be taken down because you have these guys that is going to compete with you at your range, but you are scared of the takedown.
Yeah, man.
And then at the third round, Gutierrez decides to actually fight. He immediately starts winning.
And then he stops, and then he stops again.
Yeah, it was it was a bad look for both guys, but at the very least, I was expecting Gutierrez to look bad here. But for
Yeah,
Basharat,
man.
man, the Basharat brothers, like, I still think they have a lot of potential, but something is not clicking, man.
Yeah, I think pretty simply, man. I feel like they're like they're just all rounders. They have like no like discernible like big strengths. They're gonna grapple strikers and they're gonna strike with grapplers. And that's basically what he tried to do with Gutierrez at this point. Just like, oh yeah, I'll just grapple this guy, and then sometimes I'll avoid the striking. But yeah, but they're fine. I don't mind the Bashar brothers.
The problem,
Very fun
yeah,
fighting.
I think the Basharat brothers are good and they're like and they're fun to watch most of the time too. I think they get too much hate. Um, but I think the one thing that they actually struggle in the UFC is that you can tell they were used to be like monster athletes in the regional circuit. But at bantamweight, everyone is a monster, man.
Yeah,
You could tell that Basharat was like actually surprised when Gutierrez was like actually took it to him like, oh, this guy hits hard. He's just as big as me. Like he was hating that shit. Why I'm not like way bigger and faster than this guy?
yeah. Why is this guy cheating? Shouldn't be allowed. But yeah, but yeah, most of all, it's hard. It's super frustrating if you like Gutierrez. It's like this guy, he should be so much better, and he used to be so much better.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm not saying that
physically,
I'm not saying that he would be top 5, but he should be like right in the top 15. Like he has the skill set, man. He's not even that bad of a grappler, which is like the thing that he gets shit on. Like it's just bad decision making all the time.
yeah. And the funny part is, it's like you watch this fight, it's like, oh, this is actually a pretty smart Gutierrez fight. He didn't go for the Emanari this fight, so that just goes to show, where his head's been at for the last few fights. So I hope he gets it together pretty soon. Otherwise, like I think his mind might not be,
Yeah,
fit for top level fights
and
anymore,
he
man.
he kind of
It's
running
bad.
out of time because he's up there in age for the division too.
Yeah.
Before that, my new boy, Ramiz Brahima, he fought Austin Vanderford, Mr. Mansant, and man, that guillotine is sick, man. But I love that Brahima has hands now. I love it, man.
Dude, yeah, I'm all for it, man. I think like we were talking before, this dude lost cleanly to Court McGee, and it's like all respect to Court McGee, amazing fighter, amazing story, tough winner and all. You should not be losing to Court McGee, man,
It
in
wasn't
past
like
2020.
2023, right? Like that's not a
Exactly.
year you want to be losing to Carnegie.
insane, insane. But he looks to be getting better. He's a super good grappler, I think, super dangerous grappler. So yeah, man, I'm all for seeing him in division. I also love his personality. Love the the Long Island shtick. The stay
Yeah,
long in the
he's a very cool
so
guy.
I'm all
Yeah.
for it.
And the opener was Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. Brogan Walker, let's be honest here, not quite UFC level.
Nope, nope.
Uh,
Cool to see Veronica easily winning though. She had so many issues, right, with like the concussion stuff back in the
yeah,
day,
yeah, that
and
was awful.
it's cool to see her just like fight frequently and fight and just win cleanly. So happy for her.
Yeah. Uh, the big problem for Brogan Walker, I feel that it's like the Bachelorettes, but she's a lot less skilled. So the thing I feel like Brogan Walker, if you go back and watch the regionals, is that she was like a physical girl, and now everyone is like more physical than her. So
Yeah, man.
that's a problem when you have that game that revolves around that, right? And she still was able to make some things happen, but I feel like when you have that disadvantage, you have to fight like a dog, and she's not willing to like dog it out. Because you can tell when she was making stuff happen, she was able to get some takedowns and she was making Veronica look like sketchy here and there. But she was not pushing for that as much as she needed, man. And Veronica Hardy like way faster, was hitting her hard, was out grappling her. So yeah, I mean, good for Veronica, man.
Yeah, if there's someone you should be able to outdog if that's your game, it would be Veronica, I would think,
Yeah,
because she's not the best wrestler. She's kind of small for the division as well. It's like so if there's somebody you're gonna do that game against, it should be her. But she lost just every round. So yeah, that was probably her last UFC fight, unfortunately.
yep. And that was the event. It was fun. We didn't have a lot of like big fights other than top four, but it was watchable for most of the time.
Yeah,
Um, the top four were like very good, to be honest.
yeah.
Like
No, I think
they all the big fights they all delivered in one way or another, be it like the quick finish or an actual good fight. So I'm happy with that. It was solid.
yeah, that's
Let's
fair.
get into some fight announcements, and we'll move on into finally talking about the Brazil event.